Welcome to Quantum Finance. My name is Parker. I'm the head trader here, and this is our day trading recap from Monday, October 16th. So in this video, we'll take a look at the day trading opportunities from today. So starting here on our market overview quad, as you can see here in the top left, we have the S&P 500 ETF, the SPY, the US dollar index here on the top right, 10-year yield, and the VIX. So looking here at the SPY, as you see, nice gap up here in the stock market this morning, getting a nice push up here to Friday's highs and then kind of consolidating at that level into the close. Looking at the dollar, nice gap down here in those dollar and a bearish reversal here. At the 10-year yield, we did have a nice gap up in the morning and getting a strong push here into, Thursday's highs. And then as you see, just kind of chopping sideways into the close. Turning to the VIX, big gap down here in the VIX, getting its bullish reversal as well. And as you see, kind of rolling down here into the close. So nice green day today in the stock market was a good opportunity for call options. So when it comes to identifying the trade today, I want to look here at our watch list. So looking at our 15-minute of the SPY and the Qs, as you can see right here off the rip, we had a 15-minute squeeze to the upside with upward positive momentum. So today was not a choppy day or a consolidation type of day. When you see squeezes off the rip on the 15-minute, you expect a strong kind of trending day, right? A big move to happen kind of around the open. So when I saw this nice squeeze to the upside and firing to the upside here right off the open, we were definitely looking for call options. And when you have nice up volume like this too and big gap ups, you want to start looking for calls pretty soon on the day. So when you have trending days like that, strong momentum either to the downside or upside, you want to buy into the moving averages and sell into the standard deviations. So here, as you can see on the 2-minute, we did have that nice push up here, consolidation. As you can see, this downtrend here, and we had that 2-minute midline come in and catch the bid right off the open. So when I saw this strong bounce here off the open with that midline, we were looking for call options right there off the rip. If you look down here at our oscillator, as you can see, getting a nice bullish bounce here off that zero line, and we also had a 2-minute squeeze. So this was actually our first entry here on this. We actually got long here in this first candle, but as you can see, getting long here or on this breakout would have been a nice opportunity to take advantage of that nice strong 15-minute squeeze to the upside. I also want to point out here on our overview that we also had a very bearish dollar. This is another reason why I was super bullish on the day. As you can see here at about this 10 o'clock mark, getting rejected at that midline. So I saw the dollar at resistance here, right? Stock market opens. The dollar is at resistance, and so is the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield was bullish, which is not ideal, which is probably the reason this kind of chopped sideways and not really got a good extension to the upside. But as you can see right here at about that 10 o'clock mark, the 10-year yield was running into major resistance as well. So we had bearish dollar, bearish 10-year yield at resistance, and we had strong upward momentum on the S&P 500. And you also see we had the VIX rolling over, breaking through major support levels. So yeah, we got that entry here on that 2-minute midline. And as you see, we were looking at the 436 call options. We had these pulled up right here. So the entry was in here at about that 50-cent level. So our first take profit was on this push up to here, looking at about a 110% gain. I'm going to show you why we had this take profit as our first profit here on our analysis tab. So if you look here at the 3-minute, as you can see, getting that nice breakout here. And our first take profit was here at this upper 3-minute extreme, right? We bought into that 2-minute midline. We bought into the 2-minute average, and we sold into the first extreme we ran into, right? First take profit here was at this upper 3-minute extreme, and that final take profit was here in the Friday's highs, because the highs and lows from each day is a very significant level. We also had, I want to point out here on our 15-minute oscillator, we had a nice strong bullish oscillator move to the upside. So yeah, first take profit here at this 3-minute upper extreme, and final take profit at Friday's highs. So we can go back to our 2-minute here. So we had that entry at about 49.50 cents. So that first take profit was at about 110% gain, and that final take profit at Friday's highs, you're looking at about a 200% gain. This did actually extend beyond Friday's highs, as you can see, moving up here to about a 240% gain on the day. So nice move right off the rip here on call options to take advantage of that 15-minute squeeze we were talking about, right? Another thing I want to point out here on the Qs and the NASDAQ, as you can see, the Qs had the 50-day moving average right here. It got a nice push up off the open, pulling into the 50-day moving average as support, this is very significant because as you can see here on Friday, the 50-day moving average was resistance. And today we got above it and it acted as support. So we had a very bullish NASDAQ as well as bullish S&P 500. There was something I want to point out that did happen today, though. Kind of a different trade opportunity, right? So we had that nice move off the open, nice call options. But as you can see here, we got that pullback and we got a really tight squeeze consolidation. So we had an upward momentum shift squeeze on the 3-minute. As you see, this really tight squeeze. We also had an upward momentum shift squeeze on the 5-minute, right? So I was actually bullish on this. We actually took another position for longs on this. Granted, we did have kind of a bearish cross to the downside here on our oscillator. And we are also sitting right here below Friday's highs, which could be resistance. But if you look at our overview, we had the US dollar breaking down below these lows, right? Below Friday's lows. So I thought if we got a nice rollover here, we would have nice move to the upside. We also had the 10-year yields double topping and looking like it wants to roll down. We also had the VIX rolling over off of a major resistance level as well. So I did actually think this was a decent opportunity to maybe take advantage of another move up here towards maybe these highs back here from Thursday, or even a gap fill. If you look down here at our daily chart, you can see this gap fill right here. That kind of was my target. But as you can see, we did get that squeeze. It fired to the upside, right? Let me go to our 2-minute. As you can see, we got a nice firing to the upside. But as you can see, we got a big sell-off immediately. So when I saw this, right, we took profit up here, right, into this push. But when we got this big drop right here, we got flat, got out for not really a loss at all, just kind of like a break-even type trade. But when this kind of like price action here, right, you have this sharp sell-off and then V-bottom recovery, I figured this was some type of news-driven event. I did look kind of at Twitter and stuff. There was this, kind of war development where you had this getting bombed. There was also this announced that, the U.S. is entering the war. I'm not sure if that's it. I'm not saying that's what caused this, but this kind of price action right here, to me, is more of a news-driven event. I didn't really dive into it too much, just kind of looked through Twitter, and that's, pretty much the only kind of significant news that I saw. There might be something I'm missing, but I just want to point out that I did like this. A lot of you, if you followed kind of the squeeze strategy, this did kind of look like a nice setup. I mean, as you can see, we did get the nice squeeze fire to the upside here, but as you can see, just pretty much death candling down here. Was definitely not expecting that, but we did get flat right here when we started breaking down through that midline. But yeah, as you can see, just getting that V-bottom recovery and then chopping sideways into the close. Something I do want to point out here on our watch list too. Go to our watch list. If you look here at the S&P and the Qs, we do have a really tight squeeze going into the close, right? Closing right there at VWAP in that midline. So with a really tight squeeze like this, when you have going into the close, I would maybe expect some type of large move to happen, maybe in the post-market or pre-market, maybe some larger type of gap up or gap down. But as you see here on the SPY, we do have the 50-day and 100-day sitting up here, but as you can see, we had the 50 cross down below the 100-day. I'm going to pull up the daily and weekly charts here. Take a look at the volume. So this is actually kind of bullishly postured, right? Getting a nice kind of bounce and hold off this daily midline. But we do have this upper extreme on the daily sitting right here too. So maybe expect a move to really fill this gap, or maybe a move up here to touch this upper extreme. But as you can see, we did have a lower volume day today. We did have majority buying, but as you see, pretty low volume day to start the week. Getting bullish kind of price action here on the weekly chart as well. As you can see, getting back above our weekly midline with a kind of want to draw the trend line here on the RSI. As you can see, the RSI kind of poking above that downtrend line. So yeah, pretty wild price action today. Nice call options here off the rip, getting that 15-minute squeeze to the upside and buying into that 2-minute midline, selling into the 3-minute upper extremes and Friday's highs. And we also had that trade that kind of stopped us out earlier, but we're going to kind of call this kind of an anomaly kind of trade because this price action is very strange. But yeah, pretty good trade today. And yeah, that should do it for the video. Appreciate y'all watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.